Hey, let's go to the phone right now and bring in Chris Mannix of Sports Illustrated. He's a senior writer at SI. Chris, you're on with Les, Woody, Paige, and former NBAer Earl Boykins. Want to hit you up
NBA
first.
Great.
NBA great.
Oh,
Earl
is that
Boykins.
what I am?
Well, you know what? If you go 14 years in this league, especially at your height, you're great. You are great.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you. Thank you.
No problem. And you get some pizza for that, too. Hey, Chris, wondering, is there a market for Ty Lawson out there at all now after what happened again last night?
No. There's almost zero market for Ty Lawson. The market was limited as it was, both because of the earlier DUI and just the sense that he's not worth the money he's getting paid for teams, and the fact that if you look around the league, there are not a lot of teams that are absent at point guard right now. They either have an established guy at the position or they have a young player that they want to groom for the position and don't want to bring in a guy that is going to expect to be the starter. But even if there was a mild market for Ty Lawson before, this second DUI has totally cratered it. It's almost impossible to trade him at this point.
So, Chris, what's the Nuggets' best option here?
I think you wait it out and you bring him to training camp and you hope that maybe he can rehabilitate himself early on in the season. It's just you don't have any other choice at this point. Obviously, we know that Emmanuel Mudiay, who has been one of, if not the best player out here in Las Vegas for the last couple of days, he's the future of the franchise at the point guard position. But maybe you try to find a way for these two guys to coexist. Maybe you play them alongside each other in the backcourt. Mudiay is a bigger point guard, as we know. And just try to, kind of rehab Ty Lawson's trade value so that maybe you can get, I don't know, another player at a different position, a draft pick, something before midseason for a guy like Lawson.
Chris, that's what talking about watching Mudiay. I asked this of Earl earlier. Is there anybody that's played the game that he reminds you of at his size with his speed at 6'5", given that he's had limited experience, even though he had a year pro ball in China? You look at him and you go, boy, he reminds me of X.
Well, I mean, the one that comes up the most often is John Wall. I mean, that's what Larry Brown, who recruited him hard when he was at SMU, told me. Larry, when Larry first recruited Emmanuel Mudiay, he was going to see some of the other guys on that prime prep team, that old Deion Sanders school that Mudiay played for. He was going to see, I think, Jordan Mickey and some other guys that played there. And when he got there, he started seeing this kid, Mudiay, and looking at him. And what Larry told me was that his senior year of high school, he thought Mudiay could have played in the NBA and played real minutes for a team right away. So I think Wall is a good comparison. Joe Abunassar, who's Mudiay's personal trainer, he's trained Chauncey Billups and Baron Davis and others. He said that Mudiay was kind of an amalgamation of both Billups and Baron Davis, sort of a blend of both their top talents. And I mean, man, if you can be that's a pretty damn good player.
That ain't bad.
I was going to say, if he just doesn't grow a beard like Baron Davis, keep it clean like Chauncey.
Chris, are you hearing anything, as we are you hearing anything about the possibility of the Nuggets talking to the Celtics about Danilo Gallinari, and he's putting any stock into that?
Well, I don't think that there's anything imminent at this point. The Celtics have got their roster pretty well filled out right now, but they are open to making some deals at this point. Now, they just did make one minutes ago when they grabbed Perry Jones off the Thunder. The Thunder basically gave him away in a luxury tax move. And Jones doesn't make a ton of money, but he does gobble up a little bit of their remaining cap space. And the Celtics have held off on signing some of their guys like Jay Crowder and making the David Lee trade official. And even their rookie Jordan Mickey hasn't signed quite yet. So they're still looking to make another deal there. So I think there's room for conversation. I just don't know what Boston would give up in that deal that makes a lot of sense for Denver. Now, they do have some bigs there, and they're not exactly defensive-minded guys, but Jared Sullinger and Kelly Olynyk are NBA rotation-type bigs, so maybe that's someone that could interest Tim Connelly and that team. But right now, I haven't heard anything close to being a hot front-burner kind of deal with those two teams.
Fallen in love with anybody in Las Vegas, and I'm not talking about on the Strip. I'm talking about Summer League. Is there anybody that you go?
Woody, Chris table number 5 at the Hard Rock. It's fantastic.
Anybody you went, wow, this guy can play a little bit that we wouldn't know, that wouldn't have been on our radar? You see anybody you like?
I was at the Salt Lake Summer League too, and had a good look at some of those guys, and it's so hard to look at these Summer League numbers and seeing what they're doing and take them with anything more than an entire lick of salt. I mean, I like, honestly, Kristaps Porzingis has played pretty well. I mean, I don't know if that surprised me, but I do like what I see in him, and that's obviously big for the Knicks' future. I mean, we've mentioned Mudiay already. Jaleel Okafor played pretty well in the Salt Lake City Summer League for that team. So nobody. Yeah, I can't look at these Summer League guys, haven't seen them putting up big numbers, and think it's anything more than just overinflated stats against inferior competition. So few guys emerge from the Summer League and become anything, as long as they're not on the NBA radar right now, that I expect that trend to continue.
Chris Mannix from Sports Illustrated, our guest, and Les Shapiro has a man crush on Willie CauleyStein. I see where he's scoring some points, but he's not getting many rebounds. What do you think? I know Summer League is, it's like watching the Rucker League or something, but any impressions of Willie CauleyStein?
Wait, before you answer that, Chris, let me speak on behalf of myself. All right, I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be a very good NBA player, and I think his offense is underrated. How good an NBA player do you think he'll be?
I think he'll be a solid starter, maybe definitely a first big off the bench type of guy. Offensively, I don't think he's going to become much. I mean, maybe he could develop a baseline jump shot, but everything he was at Kentucky was just a dunker, putback, occasional hook shot type of guy. And look, the Kings are okay with that because they believe they can play him alongside DeMarcus Cousins, and Cousins provides the offense, CauleyStein provides the defense, and that's a decent dynamic for them to live with. But I'm telling you, the Kings are going to regret passing on Mudiay. I mean, Mudiay would have been a perfect fit for George Karl's system. George wants to play up tempo. Mudiay loves to run. I mean, they didn't draft him because they didn't get a look at him firsthand. Mudiay wouldn't work out for him. That is the dumbest reason not to draft a guy that I could possibly hear. I mean, Denver didn't work out Mudiay. And,
no.
Tim Conley and Josh Kroenke were doing cartwheels in Lodo because they got their hands on this guy at the 7th overall pick. I mean, I think Mudiay has the potential to be an all-star player in a couple of years, and I'm not sure CauleyStein will be. He'll be a good player, but will be anything more than a defensive player. Plus, and I've written about this in the last week, that foot injury that he's had in recent years, teams were terrified of that foot. There was one team picking in the top 5 that took him off the board entirely because they didn't think that foot injury was they thought the foot injury was going to affect his career negatively in the long term. Several other teams told me that they had him right on the borderline of being able to draft medically because of that foot. So you got to keep an eye on that in the next few years. And as we've seen with players, especially big men, when you have a foot injury, that's as bad an injury as you can get.
Yeah, Chris, you're right. There was a lot of fist pumping in the Nuggets war room when Sacramento took Willie CauleyStein and Mudiay fell into the Nuggets' lap.
Hey, Chris, I hope you'll come to Denver and we'll name the show Woody and Chris because you have a lot more intelligence than the guy that I'm sitting next to. He would have drafted Willie CauleyStein #1.
Good luck with that, Chris. Yeah. Bring a weapon. You might want to use it on yourself. All right? Chris, we really appreciate your time, man.
Anytime, guys.
Chris Mannix of Sports Illustrated.